Well, hi, everybody. It's time for Slayer Talk. And now your hosts, Mark and Carol. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to Slayer Talk. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my newly minted fiance, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It's February 10th, 1998.
Newly minted. What a phrase.
Well, how do you want me to say it?
We're engaged.
Newly christened.
Woohoo! So,
I smashed a bottle against your body, and now you're my fiance.
Oh my goodness. So, like, romance is actually in the air.
Yeah, romance is in the air. Here and elsewhere.
In Buffyland.
Yeah. Well, you know, we get thrown off sometimes because we're still trying to catch up on 90210. And, you know, we'll see like a Halloween episode and it's June. But TV shows, they like to keep up with the holidays.
It does make sense.
That are coming out. So, yeah, having a Valentine's Day episode. Angelus, he wants to do Valentine's Day things.
He does. He wants to spend Valentine's Day with Buffy, that is for sure.
Or Drusilla, or both.
There's another idea for fan fiction.
Well, he gives him his heart. Well, the heart of a shop girl.
Yeah, he gives Drusilla a heart, yeah.
It's like, it seems more like he's a dog. Here's something I found.
She does have some kind of weird hold over both of these guys.
Yeah. She's not that pretty.
I feel bad for Spike a little bit. Like, I mean, I realize that he's like a fucking monster, but he's stuck in a wheelchair. And
This makes no sense. I mean, like, it's not bad enough to distract from the entire plot, but a piano
cartoonishly
rendered a vampire disabled for who knows how long. And did he go to a vampire orthopedic doctor?
Right? Like, I don't understand any of this. No.
You're gonna need to be off your vampire feet for 6 weeks.
Okay, so like fucking when this happened,
Yeah.
Drusilla was doing stuff to Angel.
Yeah, but she got crushed too by the piano.
And she's fine.
I guess he must have shielded it with his legs.
What? Right. Like, for a minute, my brain got scrambled, and I'm like, maybe the stuff that was being done to him...
For a minute. Have you listened to the show?
Hey! Hey, you're the one who wants to marry me, okay? Yeah. What does it say about you?
Yeah, I don't know.
But nothing happened to him. He wasn't being tortured. There was nothing bad happening to him. He just got a piano dropped on him.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't...
I'm waiting for him to just jump out of it and be like, fooled ya!
Wow. That would be funny. What an elaborate April Fool's Day prank he's playing.
Right? But he gives her a pretty necklace for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, like any woman would want.
And then Angel walks in and gives her a still warm heart. Which she thinks is so much better, apparently.
Yeah, she loves it, even though she doesn't need it.
Well, we don't know what happened off camera. I'm glad they didn't show us.
I expected her to just devour it right away. Wouldn't you want to eat it while it's still warm?
No! I wouldn't want to eat it at all.
You like cold heart? Okay.
Ew.
It's like cold pizza. I'd rather have it warm, sorry. But some people do prefer cold. But anyway, so yeah, she loves it. One thing I think is hilarious is that Angel has changed from a good, virtuous, helpful character into a terrible, evil, vile character.
Yeah.
And the way that the show marks such a huge sea change in his character, more eyeliner. It's like that's... Did you notice? Like, it looks ridiculous. He's just like, they've ringed his eyes with dark eyeliner.
I did not notice.
I noticed, and I was like, the same visual cues we get from him turning good to evil is the same visual cues you get when your teenager starts to work at Hot Topic.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Oh my god, that's awesome.
I expected him to be like, here's some Jinko jeans. Drusilla, happy Valentine's Day.
Wow. Maybe the shop girl came from Hot Topic, and that's where he got the eyeliner.
Maybe. Who knows?
But I mean, that's like Angel's supposed to be this like threat in the background of the episode. Like,
I know, and he's a joke.
Giles is like, you know, Angelus really gets into Valentine's Day. You better look out, Buffy. Stay indoors for a couple days.
Right.
What? She's the Slayer. Stay indoors for a couple days. Like, that's ridiculousness. And then, like, what does he do? He sends her flowers. That's really scary.
That says soon on it.
In a black box.
Yeah.
Which her mother doesn't see any red flags here. She just all smiley, like, oh, Buffy, look what you got. I would be very concerned.
Look what you got, Buffy. You got a dozen roses in a black box with the smell of decay on them.
But I mean, like, then later he's just hanging around her house waiting to, like, I don't know what. He doesn't really accomplish much.
No, he doesn't do anything. He threatens Xander for a little while.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And
He
then he's
yanked
like,
him through the window. I mean, that was kind of cool, I guess, but, like, he wouldn't have been able to do that to Buffy anyway.
He yanked him out the window.
Yeah.
And he yanked him through the window.
What's the difference?
One paints a much different picture.
Oh, you mean, like, shattered glass and not shattered glass? Or?
No. Different kinds of yanking.
Oh, God. What is wrong with you?
Well, I'm just saying it's better to say he yanked him out the window.
He reached into Buffy's second-story bedroom window.
He reached around a second-story window and...
He yanked Xander out.
Yep.
He didn't even drop him. Like, that would have been, you know, painful at least. Like, he didn't do anything.
Nope. He just descended with him and then said, oh, I was going to, I don't know. He's very vague. He's like, I was going to vaguely do stuff to Buffy.
But you're here.
For Valentine's Day, so you're here, so I'll do stuff to you.
Oh, my.
And Xander's like, I don't know if you want to do the same stuff that you're going to do to Buffy to me. But he gets stopped.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, this is, like, Xander's episode, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's a interesting one. So, him and Cordelia have been...
Cordy, as they call her.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It is a weird name.
I hate her being called Cordy.
Cordelia is such a pretty name.
Cordelia's not that much harder to say than Cordy.
Correct.
It sounds like Corgi.
Yes.
Then it makes me think of Queen Elizabeth II.
Or dogs.
Well, yeah, but she loves corgis. It's like,
But I'm just saying, like,
she surrounds herself with corgis.
If the image that you get from her name is a dog, that's not good.
No, I agree.
Or an old English queen, I guess.
Yep, not good either way.
So her friends are like being bitches and shutting her like because she's dating Xander, and like
that's the best band name I've heard in a long time. Being bitches.
Ooh, I like it.
An all-female rock band.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Wish me luck.
Good luck.
All right. So I was confused though because like are they publicly dating, or did people just
Apparently
catch them making out enough times? Like, I don't really know what's happening.
The first time, people let it slide. The second time, there are some whispers. But the third time, you get caught making out. It's like, no, it's official now, guys. It's like saying Beetlejuice.
Right, there you go. So then she decides she has to break up with him because, of course, you know, her friend liking her is so much more important.
Yeah, that's high school for you. That's Cordy for you. Right.
She is very shallow. And they're having some kind of like Valentine's Day party concert thing at the Bronze.
Yeah. Does the Bronze give tithe to the school or something? Like, Is there hush money being exchanged or something? The Bronze hosts every major school activity.
Was this a school activity? I thought it was just a Bronze thing.
I thought, okay, I don't know. But I would think that I thought it was a school thing, like the Valentine's dance. I mean, we're young or a different age, and
old enough to be engaged.
And in high school, Snow King, like the snow dance, Snow King, Snow Queen.
Okay, I didn't have that, but sure. But
there's always a dance in February. They don't always say it's the Valentine's dance, but it's the Valentine's dance.
But this isn't a school dance.
You were questioning it a second ago. Now you're sure it's not a school dance.
Well, no, I mean, I don't understand why you, okay, they had the prom there, yes.
Yeah, okay, so that just aids my points.
But a lot of times they'll have proms in different locations than the school.
Promenade, please.
And, I don't think they generally have other school functions in different locations. I feel like this was just the Bronze putting on its own Valentine's Day event. I don't think it was a high school-sponsored event.
Oh, okay.
Because wasn't, Angel there?
No, Angel wasn't there.
I'm just so used to Angel being at the Bronze.
I guess, in defense of what you're saying, there were no teacher chaperones there.
There you go.
And you would think at a sponsored event there would be, so.
I mean, it is kind of weird that they never hang out anywhere else. Ever.
Yeah, it's weird that the school never puts on any dances. They just let the Bronze do it.
I think maybe this show's afraid to show us too much of the school gymnasium because of her history.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's just going to randomly catch fire. I don't know.
I think they have the set and they want to use it. That's what I think.
Right. But Oz's band is playing this school or non-school event.
Yeah, Dingoes Eat Babies.
What a fucking name.
The name of their band. And I can't be sure because I didn't see it closely enough and I didn't catch it in the credits, but I feel like at least a couple band members from Nerf Herder were there. Interesting. Because they do the theme song, and they do some songs I like.
That'd be cool.
They're an esoteric band. But speaking of music, he's there. He plays the bass, and he looks like every bass player.
Does he?
He's looked like me when I was playing bass, where he's just stone faced, except I sang.
I was thinking how tiny he looked compared to everybody else in the band.
Yeah, he does look tiny. He's a wee little werewolf.
It's like he's like a middle schooler playing with the high school.
Right. But speaking of music, real quick, this episode was titled "Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered," which is a reference to an Ella Fitzgerald song from a time period when Joss Whedon's dad would be writing for Your Show of Shows or whatever the fuck he wrote for.
So you think that Joss Whedon chose the title because it was his dad's music?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my feeling on it.
Sure. So Xander is at this dance thing, and Cordelia is at this dance thing, but they're not there together.
You sound like an alien describing human mating rituals or something. Xander, carbon life form, is at this dance thing.
No, it's weird. Why aren't they there together if they're dating?
Oh, I agree. He's also wearing something that looks like it came out of Angel's 1970s collection.
Yeah.
It's he's got huge shoulder pads and a very wide open collar.
Yeah, he does. He looks like he belongs in a John Travolta movie.
Exactly.
And he approaches Cordelia, who's like, "Oh, you look so good."
Yeah.
What?
Apparently that's her style.
I guess. It looks weird. And he's like, "I let Buffy dress me." He's so weird.
Yeah.
Not physically. Okay. He gives Cordelia a gift, and also a necklace, similar to what Drusilla received from Spike.
I guess. Yeah, and it's got a heart on it.
Yeah.
That is funny. I didn't pick that up. She gets a necklace and a heart, and Cordelia gets a necklace with a heart on it.
Mm-hmm. And she rejects him and breaks up with him because that's the kind of bitch she is.
Because her friends think that she's a loser and don't want to talk to her because she's dating Xandar.
But, as we'll see later in the episode, she's still wearing the necklace, even though she rejected him.
She still likes him.
Yeah. She's a bitch. She's a stupid bitch. Like, if you like the guy, fuck your friends. They don't,
Wait, is she saying that to the guy? Or, I don't understand.
If Cordelia likes Xander, then she shouldn't care what her friends think, okay?
Oh, okay. I see.
But
that's the after-school special version of that.
Earlier in the episode, Xander witnessed a callback from season 1. Amy, I think her name was?
Yeah, that's right.
The witch?
Well, the daughter of the witch.
Yeah, performing some magic on one of the teachers. Mm-hmm. She's pretending to turn in her homework.
But instead, she took a rabbit out of a hat.
But there's no homework there, and the teacher just accepts it. So Xander's like, "Oh, she's acting like a witch."
And he says something to Buffy, and she's like, "Yeah, no, that was her mom. We're not going to investigate this any further."
Yeah, let me just blow you off completely.
Oh,
wouldn't he love that?
Yeah. To completion or completely?
Oh, Jesus. So he asks her if she can help him and do a love spell because he wants Cordelia to love him.
Yeah.
Which seems like
pointless. He comes to the school and everybody's like, "Oh, fucking, you're a loser," and everyone's laughing at him and stuff like that because Cordelia broke up with him. This seems very unrealistic.
Oh, yeah, people are not this mean.
But
it is the Hellmouth.
Everybody's laughing and stuff like that. The gaggle of girls looks at him, and one of them says, "Hey, Xander, maybe you should learn another language so you can get rejected by even more girls." It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was...
She was up all night workshopping that. She was on the phone with her friend. She had a notepad out. And so he goes up to Amy and he's like, "Look, I know you're a witch. Help me." And she's like, "All right, we'll see what we can do." But yeah, I agree with you. Like, putting a love spell on her just seems pointless. But he says what he wants to do is put a temporary love spell on her or whatever. Because he says, "I don't mean eternity," but I think there's only one love spell or whatever. But he says, "I just want her to be obsessed with me, and then I can break up with her, and then she can feel as bad." So it's petty vengeance.
Yeah.
Wow, that broke you. Takes you a second to process all that emotionally, doesn't it? Thought you would have processed it when we were watching the show, but I guess
apparently not.
That was a time when you were just in record-only mode. So.
Shut up. Anyway, so he, oh my God.
Wow. She's dying, everyone.
Huh, something crawled in. Okay.
What? We're engaged now. That's not supposed to happen anymore.
So he approaches Cordelia, assuming that she's going to be under the influence of this spell, and she's like, "What are you doing? Why are you talking to me, you freak?" Basically.
Right.
And so that's the first clue something went wrong.
Yeah, well, he's like, I guess it didn't work.
Right.
Kind of thing.
And then he's talking to Buffy, who all of a sudden is treating him like he's a tasty snack.
Right.
It's kind of weird.
Well, immediately I'm thinking she didn't actually say Cordelia's name.
Right.
She said like Xander's lover or whatever. And I was like, "Oh, maybe it's really Buffy."
Yeah.
But then Amy comes up to him and she's like, "I don't think it worked." And he's like, "Yeah, I understand. It's okay." And she's like, "Well, we can try again." He's like, "No, we shouldn't meddle with forces or whatever." And she's like, "But we don't even need to do a spell. We should just hang out more. And she starts coming on to him.
Yeah. So.
And then I realized what happened. Because he gets the necklace from Cordelia. Because Amy says that she needs something from Cordelia. And she uses the necklace as part of the spell. But I realized, it was like, the necklace protected her. That's why she's the only one that's not going to like him.
It's kind of weird, though, that the necklace protected her when he had gotten it from her already. Whatever.
I don't know. I can't. I can't describe. I don't know enough about the ins and outs of witchcraft, Carol,
right.
where I can adequately explain it. But in the parlance of the story, it makes enough sense.
But it's a comical episode because every woman that he encounters is just falling all over herself for him,
And it gets worse and worse and worse.
Which would normally be like a dream come true, especially for Xander because he doesn't usually get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But it turns nightmarish, and Giles even warns him like anyone under the influence of a love spell is dangerous and violent and deadly.
They'll do anything to get their love,
right?
Which I don't know. There's some logical fallacies in this episode, but Giles is really pissed off at Xander.
Yeah, he was really hard on him. He's like, I can't even look at you.
Yeah, and the spell didn't even work on him, so I don't know why it was so hard. But
Jesus.
But, Marie Callender comes out, and she's all like, Giles, we need to break. Oh, Xander, how's it going? And then she wants to get with him because she's a woman, too. He comes home, and Willow's in his bed.
Which is hilarious. I wonder if she was wearing underwear. She was just wearing, like, a shirt.
She wasn't wearing pants, I know that.
Right.
I assume the actress was wearing underwear.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying, I wonder how far she was going there.
I don't know.
But yeah, she's like
his bed
chewing
was
on.
wet.
Ew. She's like chewing on his ear. It's like what it's so awkward too. Like you can tell he is not into her at all. Ever, never was, never will be.
No, it did not seem like a temptation.
No,
Buffy seemed like a temptation.
Right.
She did not.
So and he's like, what about Oz? Oh, he'll be fine. Like whatever.
He's not you.
Yeah.
Xander's like, actually, he is me. Go see him. He's me.
He tried that, yeah.
But anyway.
And then Oz wants to kick his ass because he spent the whole night on the phone with Willow, who was crying because of Xander. Like, she must have been real careful on how she worded that shit because he wasn't mad at her.
Right.
How dare you break her heart by rejecting my woman?
It's nice to know that even under the influence of a love spell, women will still be manipulative.
Right.
There's a consistency there,
And then all the girls at school just like turn on Cordelia because she broke his heart and what's wrong with her? How could she not want to be with him?
Right.
And they're like physically attacking her in the hall.
Now this makes sense.
Yeah.
They're trying to like tear her apart and everything, right? So he grabs her and saves her. Amy and Buffy face off against each other. Buffy looks like she's going to fucking kill Amy.
Right.
Because she has superpowers and everything. But then Amy turns Buffy into a rat. So, meanwhile, Xander's saving Cordelia. And I guess at some point tells her what's going on.
Yeah.
And then a mob of every female in the Hellmouth, essentially, is outside of the school. And they're headed by Willow with an axe.
Yeah.
And she says, if I can't have you, I don't want anyone to have you.
Especially that bitch.
I don't get this. Why would a love spell make someone turn to the idea of, well, murder is then better? Like, I don't think that comes out of love.
Well, no, of course not. I think it's just to make this episode.
I get that, but to me, there's enough of a threat with women fighting each other and all trying to, like, Beatles style grab articles of clothing or like, you know, like being a mob like that to Xander, because he could get crushed or whatever without them like wielding weapons and stuff.
I agree. I think it was a little bit much for sure.
But anyway, then they run to Buffy's house to hide. And I immediately was like, Buffy's mom is a woman.
Right.
Like, that's not a good idea.
Yeah. So then, of course, she's, you know, after him, too. They lock her out of her own house.
Yeah. She breaks the glass.
Cordelia's the only one who, like, normally likes him, and she's the only one who's, like, not trying to kill herself to get him.
Right.
It's weird. So.
Yeah.
Sorry. There's the thing in my throat.
Nope. Nope.
Nope. So, tell us exactly how it ends, Mark.
Okay. Because you don't remember? Wow. Wow, you really worked yourself up to that, didn't you?
I was really tired, and I, blanked.
Anyway. God, your tape blanked, huh?
It did.
So, that's when Angel comes and grabs him from Buffy's room. And he's about to kill them when Drusilla shows up and prevents him from doing that because she is also a woman and loves Xander now.
Wow.
And actually kisses him, too, in her vampire face form.
Ugh.
And
trauma.
So he gets away from her, runs into the house, but she can't come in, even though the rest of the women are coming in. And Angel's like, "No, weren't invited, Drusilla. Oh, well." And that's it. That's the last we see of them. I guess they just go back to whatever sewer they're in.
Wherever they're taunting Spike with their weird sex thing.
Yeah. So they... Cordelia and Xander end up in the basement of Buffy's house, where they're hammering up boards. I don't know why there are just spare 2x4s in her basement.
Don't question things.
But the other thing is this door is clearly an open out door.
Oh no!
But they're not. They're just pounding on the door. They're not actually opening it. But you can see, I mean, if you really pay attention, you can see the way the door jam is and everything. It's clearly an open outdoor. So these boards are doing nothing, but they're still not able to get through. Mrs. Summers shoves a knife through the door. She just, stabs the door, trying to get through. And Cordelia's like, oh, you know, this is fucked up, or whatever. And they have this big argument and stuff like that. And then, meanwhile, Amy is in the library with Giles, and Giles is doing the cantations with her, right? And the first one they undo, I guess, because he's really worried about Buffy, is the Buffy one.
Yeah, that's not the priority, Giles.
So then she appears naked. She's a rat, and she's going for. They show a black cat at one point, like. Going to be a threat or whatever, and then
that was kind of stupid.
Then they see you didn't even remember it, and then they show, you just admitted that, and then they showed a rat trap with a piece of cheese, and she's like head fart, and they show the rat cam and stuff like that. It's all kind of dumb, but anyway. So before she can get to the cheese, she appears as a naked woman.
Thank God she didn't get to that cheese.
Well, she would have died as a rat.
I don't think so. I think Rat Buffy would still have superpowers.
Okay. Anyway, so we don't see anything, obviously. She's behind something. And Oz is there because he was looking for her. And she's like, can you get me some clothes? He's like, oh, yeah, sure. And anyway, so that happens. And then they undo the love spell, and basically they all just kind of they're like, what is going on, and stuff. And Xander's like, what a scavenger hunt. And then they cut to school the next day, and Buffy's like, a scavenger hunt? And he's like, yeah, your mom seemed to buy it. She's like, I don't know. I think she's just repressing it because she hit on one of my friends.
Right?
She's getting good at repressing things, she says. But Buffy reveals that she remembers everything. And Willow's pissed, does not want to talk to him.
Willow's pissed?
Yeah. And
God, she needs to get over it.
He's like... you know, how much groveling? And she's like, oh, a month at least. You know, Buffy's like, it's, you know, it's bad what you did and everything. Although he wasn't trying to do it to them. He was trying to do it to Cordelia. So, and she's like, but I remember like wanting to tear you apart. I remember wanting you to undress me and everything. And she's like, but I remember that you said no. And she's like, it meant a lot what you said and everything and stuff like that. And, you know, he's like, yeah, I wouldn't take advantage of you like that, Buffy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
And then, but so all of them remember then. That implies that every female remembers this.
Yeah, that's weird.
And how do they explain it?
Mass hysteria,
I guess. But so Cordelia's walking with her little clique the next day. And they're all like, nah, da, 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 da. And one of them's like, oh, this dude's going to ask me out. I think he's going to ask me to the whatever the next dance at the Bronzes. And Cordelia's like, oh, that's huge. And she's like, yeah, he just has to ask 2 more people. But if they say no,
oh no,
then he's going to ask me. And she's like, oh, cool, you know. And then they were talking about whatever. And then Xander accidentally bumps into them. And he's like, oh, sorry. And she's like, she insults him in some way. I don't know how. And then Cordelia just kind of stands there for a second. And she goes, you know what? To the girl. She's like, you're a sheep. She's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, you just follow what everyone else does so you can claim to be the first one to do it. And you're a fucking loser. And she's like, and I'm not like that. I dress how I want to. I do what I want to. I'm my own person. I'll see who I want to. You know, I'm not like you. I'll do what I want. And I'll date whoever I want. She's like, what are you talking about? She goes, even if he is a dork. And Xander's just standing there smiling. It's like, you're being insulted, you know.
Kinda.
And then so she goes over there and grabs his hand, and then they walk hand in hand away from them. And Cordelia's like, oh my God, what are you doing? He's like, don't worry, it'll be okay. It's going to be okay.
That's so sweet.
So that's, she's like, they'll never talk to me again. He's like, of course they will.
And of course they will.
He's like, you're way cooler than them. And she's like, yeah, I guess that's true. So yeah, that's essentially how the episode ends. So they're back together.
Or together for the first time for real.
Yeah, I guess this is their coming out party.
Right. But yeah, so I'm happy for Xander and Cordelia. Hopefully it works out.
Yeah. Good for them. Happy Valentine's to all.
And I'm not happy for Angel and Drusilla and Spike and their little triple thing they got going on.
Their triple entendre. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day.
And I'll try to make this Valentine's Day better for you, Carol.
Well, I think you kind of already did with,
many.
the ring and stuff. You're good. You paid your dues this year.
But that is the episode. Carol, anything else to add?
You can write us at latefee1994 at AOL.com.
Mm-hmm.
Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
All right, we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.